name is Jessie Gollum, and I am one of the 4,000 people who was a part of the Ontario Basic Income Pilot. Before I was on the Ontario Basic Income Pilot, I was cobbling together several contract work jobs and recovering from a financially abusive relationship. I was exhausted from working constantly, yet still finding myself barely able to afford the cost of living, and because of contract work, not having any benefits, sick days, or holidays. Being on the Basic Income Pilot enabled me to drop down the number of jobs I was working and focus on building a business. The income floor enabled me to feel secure enough to take a risk in starting a business while knowing that my basic needs would be covered. Because I had the time and energy to devote to my business, I was seeing my business grow. And I'd actually predicted that if the Basic Income Pilot had continued, I would only have been on the pilot for 2 out of the 3 years it was supposed to run, because my business would have been making enough money that I would have no longer been eligible to be on the pilot. The cancellation of the pilot was devastating. I was forced to stop growing my business, and to this day, I'm still struggling to start my business because I can't afford to take the risk and put the time into it. I was furious and reacted by finding the other basic income participants in Hamilton, Lindsay, and Thunder Bay and asking them to tell me their stories in their own words. And using that, I produced a portrait series called Humans of Basic Income that tells those people's stories and the devastating effects of the cancellation. What I learned from meeting with and learning those people's stories was that people were using basic income to pursue opportunities. They were going back to school. They were starting businesses like myself. People were investing in their families and creating safe and happy home environments for their children. People were able to move into safer housing, buy healthier food, fix long-term health issues, and get out of poverty. The devastating effects of the cancellation were felt with every single person that I talked to and met. People had to cancel plans and put opportunities on hold. People could no longer afford good food and safe housing. A lot of people were forced back into poverty. By canceling the pilot, the Ford government showed contempt for the most vulnerable people in our society and showed ignorance to the valuable and important research the pilot was a part of that is more relevant today than it has ever been. And with the cost of living, the cost of food, and the unpredictable effects of a rapidly changing world making life unaffordable for more and more people, the Ford government needs to be held accountable for the promise that they have broken, for the lives that they have carelessly thrown into disarray, and the permanent damage they have caused by breaking their contract with us and prematurely canceling the Basic Income Pilot.